Yo, what's up, guys? It's X here. I'm back. I was fucking long ass break from YouTube, but I'm back streaming, back to getting back to business. Um, I've had a lot of people, and a lot of people, even off stream, since I've been back. So how do you really play the rogue class? In general, not only in general, but as just the sub rogue class. It's rogue is a class right now, especially in Shadowlands, where it's like a lot of rogues just get fucking decimated. Like if you use a certain cooldown when you don't need to, you will literally die. You will just die, and people just a lot of rogues just complain, which shit. I mean, I do too. I ain't gonna lie, but that's not the point. The point is, I'm gonna be here. I'm here today to teach you how to play some rogue, and I'm gonna have some games to show you guys how to do it. But let's get into it with the stat priority real quick. So this is my stat line right here, which is really good for a rogue. This is probably best stats that you can get almost, I'd say. But you really want to focus on verse, and mastery, and then crit is your third priority as a sub rogue. I'm Kyrian right now, and I'm basically all full duelist. I have all my shit. I'm running that trinket, but I also have shackles. And yeah, that's basically your stat priority. You want to be focusing on verse, mastery mainly. Get as mastery as high as you can, and then go for crit. And that's basically it. That's your stat line priority. Um, yeah, my Lego is still low as hell, and I'll be switching Venthyr when this is uploaded. It'll be reset probably tomorrow, or it's already fucking Tuesday. But I'll be Venthyr, and I'll have a guide on Venthyr. But right now we're Kyrian, so we're gonna have a Kyrian guide. By no means am I the best rogue, but I will say if you come to my stream, or you watch any of my old videos, you can definitely see there's a lot of sketchy shit. Like, I can randomly one-shot somebody, and a lot of people just be like, why, how do you know when to do this? But I'm going to tell you here. So, there's a difference between doing real games and just knowing your class. So, for say, if you're playing with a good mage, or you're playing with a mage in general, this is gonna be different. Like, rogue is really meant for control. You're not really gonna be out there doing what you normally would do if you're just trying to play. Like if you're in a duel, it's so much different. But for right now, I'm just gonna go to a target dummy and basically show off what I do, and then we're gonna go join some rando games. And I'm just gonna commentary whether we lose or win. I'm just gonna show you what I do. And for your conduit priority, it's kind of sketchy on these ones too because I'm super low conduits, which kind of fucking blows dick. But I definitely go with planet. This is the top ones that I know that I would go for 100% on every rogue. I know they have them almost guaranteed it. This one right here is by far, it's really, really fucking good, especially for sub rogue. I'd say 100% get this. It's just really good on you. It's smooth goes. You need that crit, especially since you're not getting much from the Lego anymore since it got nerfed, and there's no point in running it unless you're Venthyr. If you're Venthyr, yeah, you can run this, and it's still probably this. But yeah, I definitely run planned because you need crit, especially as sub rogue. Those crits just come in so handy. Just like my last game I played, those crits just come in handy. Those crit could be from a death, a win, and all that type of shit. But my second one would obviously be Cloaked in Shadows, which is low as hell. This doesn't matter how big of one you have, really, unless you're like facing a Windwalker that's AoEing and he got a proc and he's just fucking one-shotting you. Then I guess the shield would come in handy in that situation. But yeah, Cloaked. The only problem I have with this is it brings you out of stealth regardless. So it's like unless you're at like 2% or something, then it's good. But other than that, I feel like it didn't. If it did what it was supposed to do and you kept the shield on you, so you didn't come out like an actual shield would, it'd be pretty baller. But of course, Blizzard doesn't like rogues. So in the next we're obviously going with this. If you're not running this as a Kyrian rogue, I'm sorry, but go watch more guides, my guy. But yeah, definitely run this. I don't even have to say anything else about this. If you're not running this, it's just pretty troll. But Rust setup. Why do you want this? This is also one of the easiest conduits to get because you can buy it from the conquest vendor. So this is really easy to get. You can auto get 239 with 200 conquest. So definitely go get that. So basically, this allows you to Kinney and have a shit ton of energy, or cheap shot and have a shit ton of energy, instead of just, Kinney and you're already at 50%, you're going to Kinney and you're going to be at 80%, which is a big buff. And then this is the route I go. You can obviously, you're not dumb, but Deeper's Daggers is this one. Obviously, it's low. You want to try to get your conduits. Conduits are main priority. It goes to show from stats to conduits to gear and then to gems. Because gems are really good. I have 0 gem gear, so yeah, Deeper Daggers, one of my favorites. 100% would have it. And then this one's kind of tricky. In 3s, I feel like this one's just so good. Because sometimes you just cannot step to that extra target that you need to get to. And it's just a pain in the ass. So in 3s, I definitely run this. I'd say any other talent or any other conduit I would run right here. You can also buy this from the Conquest vendor, which is probably your second best. So it depends on which one you're running. If you're running 3s, you probably want to run Quick Decisions. If you're not, you could probably run Condensed. Both are really good talents, or conduits, fuck me. So that's with the conduit tree. That's basically what you want, or what you can get. I definitely advise getting that. But do with that information. So we've gotten done with the stats. Now, depending on what you're facing usually, I run this trinket still, which usually nobody does. But as a rogue, it's just, you get so much more. 40% more offensive versatility is pretty fucking insane. So I use it if, let's say, there's a situation where you're facing either double DPS. Shackles can be good, but you want to have fast damage. Or you're facing, let's say, double Priest where they can just mass dispel or fade. It's like there's so much shit. I wouldn't even... Just Shackles is so easily dispelled nowadays. It's only really good in 3s or, let's say, in other situations, I guess, or different comps. But I don't really run Shackles all the time because you're getting that 40% extra. So that's the gear you want to go for. I have literally the best gear that you can get. Full duel list. So we've gotten through that. Now we're going to go to talents here. What talents do I run? Now, a lot of people, depending on what you're doing, it always depends. But I'm going to say in every situation. So we're going to go to the obvious factor 2 that I'm more familiar with is 2s. So in 2s, this middle talent right here, I want you to say it out loud in your head. It is trash, because rogue's trash. Nah, I'm playing, but it is pretty trash. Everybody's trash. All rogues are trash, remember that. But, yeah. I'm really trying to, say this word, and I'm trying not to be stupid right now, but I'm really, really trying. Premeditation, okay? I had to stall for a second. I had to realize it's late at night, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck to say. But, obviously, premeditation is the best. I'd run maybe Weapon Master if you're trying to go for, a crazy one-shot build. Let's say there's a one-shot build that some, idiot brings out. Well, guess what? Weapon Master, you have a 15% chance of it hitting twice. So if it's a Shadow Strike build, bam, you hit that motherfucker with the ×2 Shadow Strike. Obviously, I wouldn't run it normally because it's pretty fucking trash. Your second one, all 3 of these are really good depending on what you use it on. So, let's say in 3s, Subterfuge is really good. Or we're doing 2s. So 2s. Let's say you're playing Rogue Mage and you're having trouble shadow dancing and stunning. You're out of shadow dances all the time because you're not hitting anything and you're just stunning. This is really good because you don't need shadow dance. You literally stun, kidney, and then you can shadow dance. You don't even have to use it. But if you know what you're doing, Night Stalker's so much better for damage. You'll do double the damage with this. It's just crazy. And then Shadow Focus is for 3s. It's when you don't. It's the same thing as this situation. If you know you can get your dances back and shit, you just Shadow Focus, and you never run out of energy when you're doing damage. But normally Night Stalker is my favorite, and Subterfuge for maybe Rogue Mage. Now, on the 4th layer, I never run Cheat Death, and I would never ever tell anybody to run Cheat Death ever in your life. So, I'd run Soothing Darkness for, let's say you're in 2s, always Soothing. Always. Unless you're with a healer, then you want to run Elusiveness. So in 2s, run always Soothing Darkness. The healing is just you're getting max HP by sitting in stealth, and you're mostly in stealth when you're not attacking. So when they're not stunned, it's like you're you're going to be in stealth or vanish or something. But if you're with a healer, elusiveness is really, really good, especially if you can pre-feint. Like, let's say somebody's about to stun you, you do this and you're getting attacked by 2 people, it's just really good. But overall, if you're not playing with a healer, I'd just run Soothing Darkness. Now for your 5th layer, I would say these 2 are just pretty trash. Like, I would by far never use these, and I'd always use Per on the Weak. Just definitely by far. That's not even a question. These other 2 are just dog shit. But let's go on to the next one. So this is a complicated one because it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're going for a one-shot build, which in situations, some rogues do, you randomly get one-shotted, they're usually running this. You get Shadow Dance increased by 30%. I've ran it sometimes, like when I was Venthyr. I've ran it sometimes when I was Kyrian, actually, when I wanted to do big dam. You're basically just doing a shit ton of damage in a short amount of time, and then you're just done. That's like your kill window with using this. But other than that, double Shadow Dance is obviously your best. It's just way too good to just... You always have a dance ready. You always have stuns ready on the bat. And then on your last layer, obviously Master of the Shadows. These other two are just trash. I wouldn't use them at all. So that's just definitely just click this and get over with it. You don't have to read what it says. Just make sure you click it. And then we're going to do PvP talents. Now this really depends on what you're playing with. Now there's really only 3 other things you would switch it to. So let's say I am facing a Hunter, a Beast Mastery Hunter, and a Resto Druid. Or any class that disarm is worthless. So you would run right here. Maneuverability. This will get you. You want to use this when you're stunned, like when you're rooted. It'll get you right out. Or when you're slowed, bam, right out. Your other option is when you're playing with a teammate like a mage. You use stick, and it gives them 15% damage for 6 seconds, and it's a 30-second cooldown. 15% more damage for a fire mage or any other person you're with is pretty fucking insane. You might not think it is, but it's pretty fucking insane. So, and then the other 2 options that you would most likely run is Smoke Bomb is just guaranteed almost all the time. And then Shadowy Duel is almost all the time. The only time I wouldn't run Shadow Dance is maybe if you're facing Warrior Resto Druid, and instead of running this, your shit would look like this. You'd give your thick, you'd have Disarm, and you'd have Smoke Bomb. This would be for literally Resto Druid Warrior. But that's basically your talents, your gear, your conduits, what you want to be going for. And just remember that you're getting renown is one of the most important things. I'm not even full because I'll be switching. And you want to be doing that. Not only do you want to be doing that, but you also want to be getting gems on your gear, which I've been too lazy to do. Gems is you're missing like 8% of whatever your main stat is. So my 47 would be like 50 something, which is you might not think it's insane, but it's pretty insane. It just sucks that you have to sit there and farm an hour every day for about a month and a half just to get gems. But if you're really that hardcore, go for it. Also, not only with that, you also want to be going to Korthia and farming these things called Soul. There's these fucking croissants. They give you your conduit, which I've been doing like every single fucking day trying to get my bis. You'll get full conduits in like you'll get bis conduits by like a month, which is obviously not the best, but overall it's like if you just do this, you don't have to do your dailies, but I would do everything. Even make sure you look out for your world quest, because that's usually where I got most of my shit. You just go to each quest, look for a conduit. We're back. We are here. I teleported here. You're welcome for you. You're welcome. Now, before I tell you this insane rotation, the hardest rotation of the game, make sure you look down. Look down right now. Right fucking now. I ain't playing with your stupid ass. Look down. Make sure you sub, like, and comment. Because that makes me know if you want to see some more clips, whatever you want, whatever the fuck. Obviously not one person's going to do that, but if you do, the first person I see who subs and message me on my rogue, Xvic-bleedinghollow, I will give you personally 20 free wins, no charge. The first person to sub, like, and comment, 20 free wins guaranteed. So you best be doing that now when you see this fucking video. So, rotation. So it obviously differs on what you're doing, but what I usually do is I never click all my shit first. So I'll go like this. So we're facing 2 targets. What you want to do is you want a cheap shot, echoing, and then pop all your damage, Or you can do cheap shot, pop all your damage, then echoing, which I usually do that, I'm not gonna lie. I cheap shot, pop all my damage, echoing, shadow strike, eviscerate, and if it's an orc, you have to cheap shot again, mark for death, eviscerate. Now, it obviously depends on if it's an orc. If it's an orc, your rotation just differs so fucking much. Usually, if it's an orc, I just mark for death kidney. I'm too lazy to cheap shot, and then I get too greedy, and I won't re-stun, and he'll get out of that 1 second. I'm just so greedy. I want to get that shadow strike, but you never can. So, if it's a non-orc, you're going to cheap shot, max dam, use everything. And this is for on your go. So let's say you're playing with a teammate. Your first go is going to look like this. Now, if you want to do something different to where you do half damage, let's say you're like, you have gear, you want to start being able to kill people on your own, what you want to do is you want to cheap shot, you want to go have a mini go. So what I do is symbols, trinket, echoing, and that's it. Maybe I wouldn't even use your orc racial. Save your orc racial and blades. So your mini goes will start like this. So let's say you CC the other person, you'll cheap shot, echoing your mini go, which is, this is my mini go right here, my macro for my symbols, trinket, not echoing. I click echoing myself, but you click that, you shadow strike, eviscerate, cheap shot, mark for death, eviscerate, cheap shot, and usually at that point you get trinket because you're doing so much fucking damage, especially if you're doing both. Just your mini go does so much damage, or consistent now, be done while your teammate's hitting his ass. So I'll demonstrate it right here. And stun again, and then you eviscerate, and that'd be your go. I apparently didn't have a macro to my second, so I had to click that, so that's why my go is a little fucking behind. I don't know why it's not macroed, but apparently it's not. So that's your mini go right there. That's exactly what it will look like. That right there with a teammate will get a cooldown guaranteed, and that's what I usually do. Because if you go for 2 mini goes and then a big go, you will kill because they have 0 cooldowns and you have all your burst. And your mini goes will literally take a minute for cooldown, so it's like they're not gonna have trinket. If they already bubbled, the only thing they're gonna have is bop, and you can just go for another mini go for that. Or you can just, if you have a mage or something that can purge, you go again. So I'm gonna demonstrate that one more time, our mini go, and then I'm gonna explain how the big go goes. So if I can type that shit in only a second. I know. So let's get to it. Our mini go will be a cheap shot into your mini go, which is trinket, symbols, until an echoing, until shadow strike, eviscerate, cheap shot, mark for death, eviscerate, cheap shot, eviscerate, and that is your go. That is it. After that, do not be more greedy. Either start sheeping the target, or if he's so low to where you know you can kill him, like if he's still under 40%, you can still keep getting shit. Like you re-sheep, cheap shot the L target, and they keep going. Just depends on how low, or you might even be able to kill him. And usually I never smoke bomb the first go. Unless he's max range, you usually only want to smoke bomb when they're far apart, or he doesn't have trinket, so his teammate gets scared and he's like, oh shit, well my healer doesn't have trinket, so I'm going to have to use something. And you might not even have to click anything. So let's try to do that on this guy real quick. We're going to cheap shot, mini go, shadow strike, eviscerate, restun, and basically like this. And usually you can throw a shadow strike and then eviscerate, or you can just eviscerate a one. Usually you might get lucky on the point, or you don't. It just depends. But that is your mini go every time. Off DR, you just do that same rotation again. If it's an orc, or let's say a warrior. If it's an orc or warrior, what I would usually do, I'll show you the different duration of this mini go that you can do after this shit comes up. Instead of using your mark for death for an eviscerate, you can use it for a full kidney and just focus on damage, and I'll show you how that looks like. So what you're going to do is you're going to mark for death, kidney, shadow strike, get your blue. So you're going to, I'll just show you when it gets there. Hold on. I'll see you guys whenever this fucking cooldown gets back. And bam, we there. And bam, we there. We already back. We good to go. I know there's kind of a lot of fucking shit that we gotta do, but I'm trying to not waste your guys' time because you guys are here for a reason. So our mini go is gonna look like a mark for death, full kidney. Our mini go, it's gonna be symbols, trinket, shadow dance, echoing. After our full kidney, so we're gonna full kidney and then do that. Don't do it first, because they'll have time to pre something because they know you're echoing. Every echo go, they're gonna know you're doing something. It's like the same thing as a Windwalker. When they brew you, you know something's going on. So you're in stealth. It's an orc. You're gonna mark for death, Kenny, and you're gonna mini go on him. Get your Shadow Strike, and you're gonna get your Shadow Strike again. You're gonna restun. Go, restun again. Your main priority though, in a duel it doesn't matter, I guess. But right there, instead of being greedy for the extra Shadow Strike, I would have restunned before my stun ended. And obviously I was greedy, so you know I went for the fucking shit, that's on me. It won't matter that much until you're around higher CR. Then they'll be spamming something, which is really bad. So you never want to try to space. If your stun's almost over, don't be greedy and fucking restun that motherfucker. Please do it, because trust me, at high CR, these people will just be hitting their keyboards so fucking hard. But that's your mini go, and now your big go is gonna look like this. I'm gonna show it in both ways. Unfortunately, Blades is 3 minutes, so I'm gonna space this shit out for a blade and then a blade. So our mini go, I'm gonna show it on the blades, or this is a big go actually. This is not a mini go. So the big go without full Kenny, let's say it's not an orc, we're gonna do this. So you're basically doing your mini go, except you're popping everything this time. Your orc racial, or if you're a knight, if you're night elf or a different one, you're gonna put your. This is everything. Your trinket. If you're running shackles, that's okay. Then you don't have trinket. Use symbols. Basically everything. It's all your offensive cooldowns in all one. So I have it all macroed right here. So you're gonna cheap shot. You're doing the same thing as a little go, except you're using every button. I'll show you how it looks right now. It's basically the same rotation. So I cheap shot everything. Eviscerate. 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 And right there, obviously it has no verse, but you can see that you're doing a massive amount of damage. So in your big go, it really can differ, especially if you're getting lucky. So if you see your blue marks right here, your common points, like you want to try to stack on those. Like right here would be the perfect time. Bam. So it honestly depends on your RNG of your kyrian. Like there, as soon as you hit a blue, you want to eviscerate. So it depends on which lucky number. I don't know if it all the time. Let's see. I'm gonna do it again. I want to see. So we're gonna stun. Bam. We got blue. We restun. Mark for death. We restun again. And then we shadow strike. So when you kyrian, you never want to eviscerate unless it's on this blue. That's what you want to match it. That's where your good damage is going to be. So depending on where it is, you got to stop. You just got to eviscerate, even if it's a 2. Because that 2 could hit for 7k. It's a matter of how fast you are paying attention to your blue. Those blue dots are just so crucial when you're trying to kill somebody. Like right now, bam. I mark for death Kenny, bam. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is it's really good. Let's say after your first go, you want to have already common points up, so then you can do this. So instead of wasting your mark for death, you can just Kenny. So I'm gonna wait for mark, and I will see you guys when mark is up. Your common points, your 5, you have mark for death up. So instead, this is for like a second go. You can even do it first go if you're playing with a healer, but usually you only do this whenever you're out of stealth. You want to always have 5 combo. Let's say once you have your full slice and dice, you're just going, you're hitting them, you're getting your combo points. You get full. You're like, okay, dude, I'm ready. You basically do your mini go. Pretend like it's a mark for death, Kenny go. So you Kenny, bam, shadow strike, mark for that shadow strike. I'm gonna restun here. Shadow strike, restun, eviscerate. Now you see how I waited there? With another person, you want to wait because if I shadow strike there, there would have been a 1 second gap of my stun, and he would have been able to do something. So when you're playing with somebody, you just want to be focused on getting that, because your global in between shadow strike and getting that extra stun is going to be very, like if you're even I just wait for the stun there, because you have a second in the global. So you have to be spamming that cheap shot off the shadow strike, which usually I think you can get it, maybe. It just depends on your haste, which I have literally 0 haste, so I can't do that. I just be careful and I wait. And I get the restun, because those restuns is crucial whenever you're killing somebody. That's a life or death situation. Let's see, he's at 10%. So we're waiting for the sap on our mage. Let's see if their rogue does it. And so what we're gonna do we're gonna cheap shot the mage, Kenny the rogue when he comes out, and we're gonna go for our big go. Or technically we could go for a little go because my guy's busting first go regardless. So we're gonna go for a little go actually. That's second go because we get trinket regardless. If we get the opener, we get trinket. So we're gonna go for a mini go, just like we said. That's just our mini go. So it looks like their rogue is not opening, and he gets him out really good. I'm gonna get rid of cheap shot, kidney, cheap shot again. This is our mini go right here. He busts. And he vanishes. Perfect. And we get trinket out of that. And I get him out. Hopefully my mage can keep this guy in combat. Looks like he doesn't. And they're going to get the opener right here. He busts. They're going my mage. The rogue never opens, so there's no stun. And this guy rando busted. And I get a re. So now the rogue is open. And he's on me. So I'm going to blind him here. I'm going to sap him. We're just waiting for our mage to click sheep. Now we Kenny. We bomb because their teammate has no trinket. And now we're just doing our mini go, which technically was our big go because we had blades. Kind of get that shit mixed up, and that's basically how it is. We kick sheep, or he does. I can vanish this because it doesn't matter. He doesn't bust anymore, and that's how that goes. See how I still have evasion. I had disarm. We got the opener. I got him out. And since he has 0 trinket, I can just blind. Usually, you can kidney there and you can just kill the rogue. But to be safe, you have blind up. They have no bust. The rogue's in front of your face. You want to sap off the blind because they let you get a free re-stealth. If they don't, what you do there is you shadow dance. And then you sap, or you can vanish sap because the game is literally over because you have cloaked everything. But that's a perfect example of using your cooldowns when you need to. Just that simple. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Now this is a different game. This is actually a hard comp, but we're gonna go hunter. Same thing here. So you're gonna start the priest. Now if you're really good at rogue mage, what you can do is you can do a thing called roll the bust. So here, like I said, we don't need to run disarm. There's nothing to disarm here, so we're going to use maneuverability. And basically, he's going to line the priest, and when the priest comes out, or when the hunter comes out, I'm going to cheap shot the priest, kidney the hunter. Don't bust first go shackles. So what we're going to do here is we're clicking every button because he's going to pet sack. And pet sack counters bust, but it does not counter our damage. We'll still do damage. So we're going to click damage, all of it. And he's going to shackle, and we're going to tricks him here. So we're going to wait for this guy to come out. And then second go, our mage is going to bust with tricks, and he should just instant die because he's no pet sack. And we're going to have smoke bomb. So let's see how this game plays out. And let's go. Kind of opened up my fucking... I'll just edit that shit out. You guys might see me rando teleport. Okay, so we're waiting for the hunter. He marked him up, which means he's probably over here or he's over there. Yep, he's right here. Perfect. So we're going to sprint, which is really bad, but since he's in really bad position, we're going to sab back here. He can pre-DB it. He sheeps. He pre-sheeps. We're going to shackle him here. I'm going to restun him. And he dies. So right there, what we want to do is we want to restun faster than that, which was really bad by me. But good, my guy got the pre-sheep, so I just kidney him, and we win the game. And that's how that goes right there. Now we're going to play again. Keep alt-tabbing, because I forget that I'm not on Streamlabs. Okay. Waiting for Q. So it really just depends on how you play. Like in that situation, the priest should never be there, but if he ever is, what you can do is just sprint sap. It's just the perfect, he's around the corner. Hunter's guaranteed the trinket, because it's your damage go, and he's full shackling. So he's going to trinket, because his priest is nowhere to be found. And if the priest trinkets, all we have to do is blind, and then we kill the hunter. So that game was just really smooth. So here you want to be running disarm for the DH. Okay, so what we're going to do here is really hard, and it depends on how you do it. But if you can sprint in and sap the DH, then switch your sap from the DH onto the priest, and then Kenny the DH, which I'm going to show you here if I can get it off. At high MR, you're usually not going to get it off because they're not bad. They're going to pre-AoE as soon as they get out. But we're going to try to do it, and I'm basically going to show you. And I'll show you how we're going to play this game. So we're not going to stealth yet. Not yet. Now we're going to stealth. We didn't get the sap, unfortunately. We're going to sit the stun. We're not going to trinket. He might stun off this. I cheap shot him. He trinkets. We can... Probably don't need a bust now. Yeah, we don't. I can evasion. Since he just now hunts, we can also heal. So this is full damage. We have trinket for his stun. Now we just wait for the DR. My guy still has bust. We wait for tricks, and then we go, we kill. And I have blind and smoke bomb. So these guys are pretty ended up... Unless he can pre-do my blind, it's like pretty much GG. He pre-sheeps again. I'm going to cheap shot him here. Kenny. I just blind. Should just be dead. Cheap shot again, and he's dead. Because this guy wants to cheap shot, he wants to trinket a blind. Same thing as misusing cooldowns. It just doesn't work out in their favor, and we shit on him. Now, I've never played with this mage before. Usually, if you're playing with a friend, you're going to be total locked up. So if something goes wrong, like right in that situation, you're just going to know. You're just going to know off the bat, bam. He started to cheap the DH, and then he realized, oh shit, my guy's cheap him. We're not in Discord, we're not synced. When you're with your friend, you're going to be like, oh shit, okay, we know how to do this. We do this. If something goes wrong, I'll cheap shot him instead. So in that situation, I didn't get the sap. So what I did there is I cheap shot the priest so he can sheep, and I Kenny the DH. Now right there, usually he would bust. But the thing is, the DH pre-trinket a non-bust. When you do that, he does not have the bust, and all we have to do is wait to go. Not only that, but we didn't by me and him just attacking him busting with only fire blast and pyro. And that's basically how that goes. It's pretty straightforward. Marksman hunters, this is the biggest thing here. You run disarm. Remember, run disarm. This will counter their whole big damage. You disarm their go, they're usually going to trinket because their go is every 1 minute. It's basically like 1 minute Voke. If you stop their go, bam, they have to wait. They have really no damage. But if you do not stop the go, you will literally get one-shotted. So you save disarm for when he clicks that blue. The blue sphere is going to come up. It's a kyrian button, I think. And you'll know when he's going to do damage. It's where he can see you through the walls, all that good shit. But we're going to win this game here. Or try to. And let's get it. Like I said, same talents. We use tricks. We don't really need to use 1v1. You just don't need to. So our guy's just going to line here, and we're going to wait for this hunter. As soon as the hunter comes out, we're going to cheap shot the healer. So our person can sheep, or the mage can DB sheep while I Kenny. Either one works. Remember, either one can work. I cheap shot. I Kenny. I trinket trap. I do damage here. He doesn't trinket and he's dead. He late trinkets and he's not running a pet because he's going for max damage and he just dies. And again, my guy starts to sheep the hunter and he realizes, oh shit, my guy actually, he got the cheap shot. So he realizes, oh fuck, if I sheep him while we're going him, it's not good. I tricks him, he just does big damage. And right in that situation, when he is not running a pet, guys, he's not running pet sack at that point in time. The only thing that saves him is trinkets turtle, and if you can get the cheap shot as he trinkets like I just did, look what happened. We both pop damage, he dies instantly. His priest has to trinket, and then guess what? You get double trinket, you wait for tricks, and then you kill him the next go. So it just goes to show that they just die. Okay, this one's a really hard one because not only can he not sheep, so what we do instead is we're going to Kenny the off target on our go. So after the ring go, when he doesn't have ring, we Kenny, and then we can either try to sap off that, and we also have blind. So off his ring goes, we're going to blind. So it's at the first go he rings. As soon as the ears are off, we're going to blind, Kenny, go. Alright. So we don't need to be running disarm. It's worthless. So we want a maneuverability. We're going to be fast as hell. Thick, because it's double DPS, and we're going to do maximum damage. So now they're not going to come out unless he's Convoke, and maybe then he might not even come out. But we're going to, he's going to come out now. Get shield. Our guy's going to get his shield. So that Necro Shield is without Necro Shield, we get Trinket regardless. We get Bust. And that's just how it goes. As long as our guy just doesn't play stupid. So he gets Roots, he gets Beamed. He alter times, which is a really good alter time. So he gets the Necro Shield, really good. We're going to open. Now we are going to cheap shot the Druid when he comes out, which he comes out now. Hopefully we kick Vogue. He Cyclones me on it, actually. Now we're going to cheap shot him right now. Or sap him. We can also sap right here. Nope. We cheap shot. Kenny. Bomb. He can bust here. We're going to cheap shot him again. We're kicking him. We're just going to stay on his ass now the whole time. We're going to vanish to get to him. We're going to blind this guy right now. Blind him. Kick him, and he's dead. Now, we got to watch out for the Furo because he still has Vogue. So we have no Trinket anymore. So what we're going to do... And there it is. So with no Trinket there, that guy could possibly win. If he can cycle in the Mage and stun me, he can win because his mini Vogue kills. But in that situation, we just use our cooldowns offensively and we take him out. Appreciate all you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you guys want a part 2 to more, more in depth, or just another part in general, if you like just knowing how to do some shit, I'd appreciate if you just comment, tell me how you feel about it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Might have a highlight video coming up in about a couple days, maybe a day, so be prepared, and I will see you guys whenever I see you guys. My Twitch is in the description if you want to go follow that. Also subscribe, all that good shit. Remember, first one that gets in there, I'm going to be looking, so you better be fast. Just message me. By the way, I also have a community. It's pretty dead because I stopped streaming for a while, but this is a community that we're making. You can also just know when I'm on. Like right now, if you message me and I would play with you, all that good shit. If you need some wins, free of charge. If you're in my community, you get free charges, unless I'm selling at the moment and you just want to fucking hook me up with some gold. But yeah, like I said, boys, have a good rest of your guys' night, day, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace.